So let's get started here. Welcome everybody to this. What's it called? Roundtable? No, it's not a roundtable. It's called a parallel session. Welcome to this parallel session. This parallel session is going to have 3 parts. One is kind of a panel discussion. Each of the panelists, which I'm going to present briefly later on, will give some introductory remark, and then we will have a discussion. Then, at some point in time, we were supposed to split. Then, in different tables, we just decided, in a joint decision between me as a chair and the commission, not to do it like that, but just to have an open discussion here. Also because it's physically very difficult to start doing this in here. And this will then be the kind of the second part. Just maybe to introduce some people. I mean, myself, I'm Georg Lutz. I'm a political scientist from Switzerland, and I'm here in the capacity of the chair of the strategy working group, Social Cultural Innovation. With me, and she will act as a rapporteur, is the vice chair of our group, Johanna Snellman, from the University of Helsinki. She's a vice rector, in addition to being vice chair for the strategy working group. Not always clear what is more demanding, and she will then report back to the second plenary. And then we also have Patricia from working at the European Commission, and she will also kind of support us here whenever needed. So then we have here on the panel 3 people. So we have Costanza Miliani. She's the director of the Institute of Heritage Science at the National Research Council of Italy. And she's also, and I think this is one of the reasons we're here, heavily involved in the European Research Infrastructure on Heritage Science, the E-RIHS project. Then on my right, we have Toma, Tasovac, and he's the director of the Belgrade Center for Digital Humanities. And since 15 days, he is the president of the board of director of DARIAH, the digital research infrastructure for the arts and humanities. And then on my left, we have Gabi Lombardo. She is the executive director of the European Alliance for Social Science and Humanities, ESHA, expert in international higher education research and education policies and global research funding. So she has been in this field for quite some while. So I think a lot of people know her. And she's our third panelist. The others 2, they could not make it today. So we only have 3 panelists, which means we're going to have much more time to discuss together. So that is a nice side effect. So I would like to first then give the floor, and I think we start with Costanza, and each panelist has 5-6 minutes, and then we have a joint discussion. Please, Costanza.
It's not easy to do that. Okay. We discover.
The dinosaurs lying around.
So thank you for this nice introduction. I'm here representing the European Research Infrastructure for Heritage Science, so I'm going to speak about cultural heritage and how we design with this infrastructure in order to really serve the community working in the field of cultural heritage. Cultural heritage is a key word in Europe. It's a key word in Europe because can bring a society that is more inclusive, a society that is sustainable, a society that can bring our value also outside Europe. And also in a point of view of the achronic study, so through archaeology we can understand from where we come and how we can shape the present and the future, but also right now, considering all the effect of climate change on cultural heritage. Moreover, also the role that cultural heritage can have in the green transition, and it has been a very important green paper saying, heritage green paper saying that heritage can have a role in this phase. So you can imagine that this environment that is around heritage is a very wide, is a polychromatic environment with different angles. And so we, as an infrastructure that we are a project, not yet an ERIC, we are trying to build and design our service in a way that is as much as possible osmotic with this ample and polychromatic environment. So our idea is a co-creation of value between the infrastructure and the user. I'm going to be more focused on access and user and design access for user. So heritage science, as we together as a community, after some years of discussion, define in a long definition that you can read there, is a sort of umbrella. So we have together people coming from humanities and STEM, as I am, and I use the word STEM just for a short term, but you know, it's science, technology, engineering, mathematics. And so we together have a main object, a main research problem, is to understand, to save, and to bring for the better life of people heritage. So a very wide interdisciplinary set of user. And also we have an intersectoral ecosystem, stakeholder ecosystem, because the heritage research is done not only at university, not only at the research institution, but of course where the heritage is. So we have museum as stakeholder, we have cultural institution, we have library, we have archaeological site, restoration center. And now we are moving toward being able also to serve the cultural and creative industries. And in this panel, we should have the new coordinator of the KIC related to the cultural and creative industry. And for sure, our infrastructure should bring and build a dialogue with them. And then we have, as a stakeholder, society, because the cultural heritage has the power of arriving to the society. The society, the people live in the museum, they can see and feel the results of the research. So also society is for us a very important stakeholder. And so can you imagine these are ancient papyri, carbonized from Herculaneum. It is impossible to read nothing without technological method. What you see there is what we are able to show, but on the other side, this technology without the expert that can edit, read, edit, understand the early Greek philosophy that are in this papyri, our technology is nothing. So really here we have a hybrid infrastructure with humanities and technology. So to build that, we worked a lot with the sense of co-creation. We are really starting from a first set of equipment and competences, and then we started working with users. And users, as I told you, are researchers, but also people coming from museum, archaeologists, conservators. So we develop also a very strong interdisciplinary training. Training is fundamental in the infrastructure to train not only the user, but also the provider in interacting properly. Then through this access service, we foster the idea of integration of these different disciplines, and then also the process of co-creation helped us in creating a very designed, user-oriented access operation. Also for those users that are not scientifically prepared, so non-experts. So we have users that are coming from museums that have never seen an instrument, a database, or this sort of things. So for us, designing the process also for non-expert user is fundamental. And also this interaction brings us in the idea of designing new type of access, designing new type of information, methodology, database that can be of interest for the user. So really for us, the value and the impact can be obtained with the idea of co-creation. And the co-creation has bring now building this platform. And one of them, that is the mobile laboratory, was really invented for this community. For the Commission was something completely strange to have a laboratory that is mobile and is not in a fixed position. So we have a very big laboratory that is moved and take the better instrument around Europe and create something